It's time now to make rounds, and today we're going to look at the debate over whether circumcision should be routine. The Centers for Disease Control is expected to recommend that all babies born in the United States be circumcised in order to reduce the spread of HIV. Joining me now to make rounds in our MSNBC newsroom is Dr. Laura Janna, a board-certified pediatrician, and from Atlanta, Georgia, Georgianne Chapin. She is the executive director with Intact America. And Laura, I'm going to start with you. I have a 15-year-old son. He's circumcised. I made it for a lot of personal and medical reasons. But the American Academy of Pediatrics has said, look, there really is no medical indication to have to do this. Now it looks like there's a little bit of a tide backwards.
Well, the thing to remember with any recommendation coming from the American Academy of Pediatrics is that we constantly get new medical information. And as we do, we have to make our recommendations based on that. What's coming out now is some very potentially medically relevant data that might make it more important to give parents information about the reasons to circumcise.
Post-World War II, the circumcision rates went up significantly in this country, I think almost to 90%, and they've dropped really in the last 10 years, somewhere around 60% today, a big difference. Georgianne, I am going to assume that you like this trend.
The trend to reduce infant circumcision, absolutely. None of the medical information that's come out in the past has been proven to result in better health outcomes for American boys and men. And the most recent information, which comes from studies conducted in sub-Saharan Africa among high prevalence adult populations, have absolutely nothing to do with infant babies born in the United States.
But if we know that viruses and bacteria live under foreskin, and that hygiene can be a problem for any boy, I don't care what culture, and we know that the HIV transition rates are significant, how can you not draw a parallel from Africa to the United States when we're just talking about infection transmission?
Well, we teach our we teach our children how to brush their teeth and how to clean their ears, and we certainly teach our girls how to wash their genitals, and there's no reason we can't teach our boys the same thing. The other thing is that the African studies showed only benefit in female-to-male transmission. The researchers were very careful they were emphatic about the fact that condoms still need to be used to prevent sexual transmission of HIV. Most importantly, babies are not having sex. The foreskin is a normal body part. The babies cannot give their consent to have it removed permanently, deprived of the benefits of the foreskin for the rest of their lives. It's a risky procedure, and there are absolutely no ethical grounds on which infant circumcision should be routine. Yeah. The studies that have been conducted are still highly hypothetical as to why some reduced transmission was found from women to men.
Because it's important to recognize there's very compelling evidence coming out of the African studies showing a very significant reduction in the spread of HIV. And I think it's very short-sighted. I'm a pediatrician. I've written a book on newborns, but I also am very familiar with the HIV epidemic. My mother was head of the National AIDS Commission. And if we're looking at the HIV epidemic, it's not gone, and it's not gone in the United States either.
Does circumcising babies reduce HIV transmission?
Well, we know that circumcised males have, the reduction in transmission in Africa. There's no reason to think that doesn't apply here in the United States to certain people. But here's the problem. We're talking about newborns and newborn parents. And what you're saying is that it's not a problem because they don't have sex. They will. And it's very hard to have a conversation with an adult about sex and sexuality.
It shouldn't be hard to have a conversation with an adult.
Well, parents, this is the whole field of pediatrics, it is my job as a pediatrician to provide parents with the medically relevant and current information and then help them make the informed decision. It's not making it for them.
Well, I think the question is what's medically relevant, and if a study that says it only reduces transmission from females to males in adults in a very high prevalence area in sub-Saharan Africa, how relevant is that to a newborn baby? It's not the parent's right to have a normal body part cut off their baby.
But
you could not take your baby into the pediatrician and have his finger cut off.
The future?
You could not take your child into the doctor and have her breasts removed, have her teeth removed, or have her fingers removed. The foreskin is a completely normal body part. We tell the rest of the world that they should not so much as lay a medical instrument on little girls' genitalia, yet we do that with impunity in the U.S. It's an absolutely unethical procedure for which parents do not have the right to consent. Parents should protect their baby boy's autonomy and let the child, when the child becomes an adult, make that decision for himself.
Georgianne Chapin and Laura Jana, I appreciate your being here. I know this is a hot button topic that's going to continue in a lot of pediatricians' offices.
And one to talk about with your pediatrician to be informed on the decision.
Thank you both so much.